What's up, guys? We are back with the Ford Maverick Lariat here again today, and what is going to be really cool is we're going to build this thing up into basically like a camping rig. Now you'll notice I have the hybrid one, so it's not exactly the off-road beast, but for what I'll be doing with it, I won't be really taking it off-road and do anything like that. If I do, it'd be obviously quite minimal with these tires and a lack of four-wheel drive, but it does have front-wheel drive, which is kind of cool. So if you even put some slightly better meatier tires on it, you'd get a little bit farther off-road, but not by much. I already have the rack, which is what we're going to install today. I already have a nice refrigerator set up, a newer version of the Jackery, and some solar panels. So I got all this stuff that's actually pretty inexpensive, but yet so far seems like quite quality stuff because I've had it for a few days now, been messing around with it. So I've got the refrigerator in here just charging off of the outlet off the truck, which is really cool. What I do like about the outlet that's back here, it actually charges this thing quite well. It gave me 30% in a 40-minute drive, which I thought was pretty cool. In addition to that, what else is neat about this truck is it's not going to, like once you turn the truck off, this outlet turns off. So you're not going to sit here and charge and kill all your batteries. I just thought that was neat and worth telling you guys about, but that's not obviously what we're here for today. I actually got this rack here that we're going to install, which came from TUWA. And for looking at a bunch of different racks, like price versus quality and what you get, this to me seemed like the best one. So obviously this is the one I went for. So we'll do a quick installation on this thing. I'll let you guys know my thoughts about it, and then of course let you guys know what else we're going to continue doing to this truck, because there's going to be a lot and it's going to be awesome. So not a ton of stuff came with it, which is kind of nice. So it is just kind of 2 cross beams, 2 sidebars, and that's pretty much it. So the little tent I put on top will also be a part of stability. I will link down below, there's also some cross beams that you could put in there to make it stronger. I'll consider doing that depending on what stable it looks after we get it done, but I think it'll be perfectly fine as it is. So I'll go ahead and get this thing installed. I'll show you if I have any sort of weird issues with it. I won't show you guys just the complete step-by-step because I don't want to bore the hell out of you, but I will show you kind of what I'm going to try and do so that I can keep my tonneau cover, because I think that's important, and another huge reason why I bought this one over some other brands. So far it looks like these are going to work with the rack, which is going to cut my rack a little bit up, but you can see this is as far back as I can put this pillar, and then I can move these around to get them to still grab. So I think this is going to work out good. I'm going to be able to most likely keep my tonneau cover, which to me is very important, and then I'm just going to keep installing it though, and we will not bolt any of this down until we have the full rack ready to go. And then once we can bolt these down, we'll then bolt this tonneau rack back down. So I'll let you guys know as I go along if anything is working okay. So something I forgot to add to the bottom of all of the arms that go on here is this nice little soft padding to kind of help from scratching up our plastic too bad if we ever wanted to take this thing off. So I'm going to add those really quick. So it looks like these are the top pieces, these are the side here, and this just slides inside that, which is kind of cool. Nice little setup. We are utilizing these Torx bits, Torx bit, washer, and nut. And then 2 more. Flip her over. 2 more on this side. Now we have all 4 of these loosely put together and ready to go on top. To give you guys a quick little understanding of some of the issues I'm running into is now that I put the rubber under these, it does lift it up a little bit more, and obviously there's quite a gap in here. So I am going to have to weather strip this if I want to get my weather sealing back. And then the other thing would be, obviously I'm losing a little bit of the roll of my tonneau cover, and that's because there are heavy duty items in between it, like metal bars that keep it flat and allow you to cut some stuff on it. But as you roll it up, it's not going to go past these bars all the way. So I was able to get it to snap in and hold here, so I lose basically that much room in my tonneau cover, which I'm actually okay with. But I also don't know if running these that far forward is what I want to do either, because I don't know if these, how far forward I could run these before I start damaging this plastic here, because it doesn't really sit. This outer piece doesn't sit on the outside, it kind of sits on these. So to continue on, we're going to remove these bars off. We're going to pick up our tonneau cover, and I put a moving blanket on top of the truck. So we're going to set the tonneau cover on top of the truck, finish building the arms, and then we'll put the arms on and then squeeze the tonneau cover back inside of it. All right, so we only need 2 of these. Individually piece them together, these right here. So depending on what you got, whether you bought the 20-inch version or the 17-inch version, which is what else I thought was really cool about this rack, is how low we could ultimately mount this thing. It is pretty low if that's what you wanted. Obviously, I wanted to go over the truck bed itself, so I want the full 21 inches. It definitely took a little while to get to the 20 inches, but you can see 4 of them up top there is the 20-inch mark on the sides, and then basically that top rack was all the way in here. So I mean, you're really put this thing together, I would do it like that first. You could potentially see up top here they just stuck 1 bolt in there just to get it going, but we have 1 on there. We're gonna get the other one on there, and then we're gonna get the sidebars on, and then we'll actually start tightening it all down. Well, we've got everything bolted up now. Nothing is tightened down. All of it is loose. If you've never dealt with putting something like this together, I definitely suggest doing that. You can see like everything can be moved still and manipulated. We still haven't installed the brackets that'll hold these to the bed, but at least we're at the point where we can start tightening everything down. It is exactly at the 20 inches here. So if you're dealing with a Ford Maverick and you're trying to figure out the length of all this, these 4 open is what gets you the 20 inches. Basically the bar inside the top has to go all the way inside, so you could just put it together like that. It should save you quite a bit of time to just put this whole entire thing together. And then these obviously will just, you could tell they light all the way in and they can't go any farther. I grabbed these 2 there, and you could just pick it up from there and set it back on here. Now the other thing we could do is, I'm still thinking about potentially buying some kind of gun case and taking these off, drilling the holes inside the gun case, and sticking these brackets right back on, so that the gun case is just sitting there as flush as possible. And that'll even give me tie downs within the gun case, where we could run bungee cords or whatever to hold whatever we put inside the gun cases from falling off. So that's just the thought. I might do that, but this is obviously for more than 1 truck, and this looks like the highest I can get it, which the manual says it could go up to like 23 inches, but I don't think so. You just don't have like that. These top bars are just, they're just not short enough. If you went and cut them, you could do that. You could probably go to the full 23 inches with this thing if you wanted, but like I said, you'd have to cut those top bars to do so. But yeah, so I'm gonna start tightening all this thing down. I'll show you guys one more time after I get it completely put together. And then for that last piece, we'll go ahead and reinstall the tonneau cover, and we'll see how that kind of works out. I think it'll be kind of strange because it's going to be hard stabilizing the tonneau cover with these, because you could definitely, you know, potentially move it, bring it back in, set it down, and lock it. And that's just simply because this top bar, the rear bar, is a bar in itself. So once you pop it and you lift it up, you're going to have to like weasel it around, and then you'd be able to roll it up, and you could only roll it up to the front. That's another negative, but other than that, it's coming together nicely. It's exactly the height they need it to be, because it clears my antenna, which I bought the shorter stubby one so that you take off the stock one and put that one on there. So that should be just enough for me to put a roof rack tent on top of this thing, bolt it all down, and be secure. So yeah, I'm gonna keep going. Right, it's done. Everything's tightened down. We got the clamps inside. It's super strong. Jeez. Now for the real question, can I get my tonneau cover back on? And that answer is a pretty solid yes. So it definitely looks like the tonneau cover is going to work, but still back to the same issue, is we're no longer waterproof. We're going to have to put a thicker seal in here if we want to gain that waterproofing back. Of course, it's as far forward as we could go. And our straps, even all the way pulled out, can't really strap in anymore, so that's gonna suck. I can get them on there, but you have to like force it. Maybe some kind of cheap extension, another mil, and we'll be able to tighten that thing back up. If that's the worst I'm gonna get out of this, I think I'm good with it. So I'm gonna get this tonneau cover tightened up for you guys, and I'll show you guys if it works, and then we'll close this thing out. I know it's getting kind of dark now, but for the last test here, see how this, that alone will get kind of annoying. But really, the tonneau cover still works. Yeah, freaking exciting. Look at that. So now everything in here is locked with the tonneau cover for the most part. After cinching it down, it's somewhat sealed. And I know this pad in the back is huge, so it's probably still touching. So a little more annoying maybe to roll up my tonneau cover, but I'll take that now that I have it. So the last annoying thing I have to say is gonna go to our little bed clamps that slide back and forth within the tailgate. Now obviously if you don't have the lariat with those, it won't matter to you, but because of the way the rack sits on there, I can't run that mount that slides back and forth all the way forward anymore. So I lose about 6 inches of forward tie down, which kind of sucks. Not the end of the world, but just something for you guys to be aware of. Other than that, that pretty much concludes our first build for the Ford Maverick camping truck here. So we have a good rack. We have a nice lockable storage in the back here. Next, we're gonna go ahead and get that tent we just got on. And then I will walk you through how I'm gonna do my motorcycle now, because obviously I can't put a motorcycle in here anymore, but I do have a very nice setup. I just haven't perfected it yet. So once I get it set up perfectly, I'll show you guys how I'm doing that as well. And then of course, I'll take you guys out and show you how everything works, but lots of little things to finish up, and I'll bring you along. Thanks, I'll see you next week. Bye.